The studio lights of the View blazed brightly, casting a glow on the polished wooden table where the co-host sat. It was a morning filled with anticipation, because today's guest wasn't just any celebrity, it was Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex. Producers knew the episode would draw millions of eyes. Ever since Meghan and Prince Harry stepped back from royal duties, every word she uttered was headline-worthy. The audience, both in the studio and at home, wanted answers about the monarchy, her life in California, and the couple's latest charitable projects. But no one expected what was about to unfold. The calm before the storm. Whoopi Goldberg, as always, tried to keep the show steady. "Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Meghan Markle," she announced warmly. The audience erupted in applause as Meghan entered in a cream-colored dress, smiling graciously. She waved at the crowd, carrying herself with the poise that had once captivated the world. She took her seat, exchanging pleasantries with the panel. Sunny Hostin immediately praised Meghan's work with women's empowerment. Sarah Haynes asked about her children, Archie and Lilibet, and Meghan's face softened as she spoke of motherhood. For the first few minutes, everything seemed normal, charming, even. But Joy Behar, the outspoken co-host known for never holding back, had been waiting. She leaned forward, her tone sharper than the others. "So Meghan," Joy began, "a lot of people think you've made a career out of playing the victim. You left the royal family, you did that big interview with Oprah, and now you're producing shows. Isn't this just cashing in on your drama?" The air shifted instantly. A hush fell over the audience. Whoopi gave Joy a side eye, silently warning her to tread carefully. Meghan blinked, clearly taken aback. She adjusted her posture, choosing her words carefully. "I don't see it as cashing in," Meghan replied calmly. "I see it as reclaiming my narrative. For so long, my story was told by others, often inaccurately, and often with malicious intent. Speaking my truth isn't playing the victim, it's taking control of my life." The crowd clapped, but Joy wasn't finished. Sparks ignite. Joy smirked. "But come on, Meghan. Millions of women face challenges, racism, sexism, and they don't all get multi-million-dollar Netflix deals. Why should anyone believe your struggle was so unique or deserving of this platform?" The question was blunt, almost accusatory. Meghan's face tightened, but she didn't lose her composure. "Joy," she said, her voice steady, "I've never claimed my struggle is more important than anyone else's. I've always said that if sharing my experiences helps even one person feel seen or less alone, then it matters. This platform isn't just about me, it's about amplifying voices that are often silenced." A wave of applause broke out, louder this time. Still, Joy rolled her eyes, clearly unimpressed. Whoopi interjected softly, "Let's keep this respectful, folks. Meghan's here as our guest." But the tension was already growing thick. The argument erupts. Joy leaned in again, her voice sharp. "Respect goes both ways, Whoopi. And I respect Meghan's right to speak, but I also have the right to call out what feels like performance. You left the royal family but still use the title, still use the fame. Isn't that a contradiction?" Gasps filled the studio. Meghan's smile vanished. She placed her hands on the table, her eyes locking with Joy's. "With all due respect, Joy," Meghan said firmly, "my title was not something I chose to use. It was given to me when I married my husband. But what defines me isn't a title. It's the work I do, the causes I support, and the family I'm raising. To reduce me to a headline or a stereotype, that's not fair. And frankly, it's disappointing to hear from a woman who should understand how damaging it is when other women tear each other down." The audience clapped so thunderously that the producers had to signal them to quiet down. Meghan's words had hit hard. Joy, however, was not backing down. She threw up her hands. "Oh please, Meghan, don't turn this into me tearing women down. I've spent my whole career lifting women up. But I also believe in calling out hypocrisy. And to me, this feels like hypocrisy." The two women locked eyes. Silence lingered, heavy and uncomfortable. The walkout. Meghan inhaled deeply, her composure cracking just enough for the cameras to catch it. She looked at Whoopi, then Sunny, then back at Joy. "You know what?" Meghan said, her voice tight but clear. "I came here today hoping for a meaningful conversation. But it's obvious that some people don't want to listen, they just want to attack. I won't sit here and be disrespected under the guise of tough questions. She removed her microphone, stood up, and gave a quick wave to the audience. The crowd gasped again, then broke into scattered applause as Meghan began walking off stage. Whoopi looked alarmed. "Meghan, wait," she started, but Meghan didn't turn back. Joy muttered under her breath, "Well, there you have it." The camera cut awkwardly between the stunned co-hosts, the buzzing audience, and the empty chair where Meghan had been sitting just moments ago. The episode had gone completely off the rails. And by the time Meghan's car pulled away from the studio, the internet was already on fire. Within minutes of Meghan's dramatic exit, clips of the confrontation flooded Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Hashtags like #Meghan walks out, #Joy vs Meghan, and #The View meltdown trended worldwide. Some praised Meghan for standing up to what they saw as Joy Behar's hostility. Greater than, good for Meghan. No woman should have to sit through that kind of disrespect on live TV, one user wrote. Others sided with Joy, accusing Meghan of being too sensitive. Greater than, if she can't handle tough questions, maybe she shouldn't be doing interviews, another user tweeted. By the afternoon, the internet had split into two camps, #Team Meghan and #Team Joy, each fiercely defending their side. Reactions from celebrities. High-profile voices quickly chimed in. Serena Williams, Meghan's longtime friend, posted on Instagram. "Greater than, proud of you for standing tall, sis. Never let anyone dim your light." Meanwhile, Piers Morgan, Meghan's most vocal critic, couldn't resist throwing fuel on the fire. Greater than, once again, Meghan Markle storms off when challenged. "Shocker," he tweeted sarcastically. Hollywood figures, activists, and even politicians weighed in, turning the TV spat into a full-blown cultural moment. Inside The View. Backstage, the atmosphere was chaotic. Producers scrambled, phones rang non-stop, and Whoopi Goldberg was visibly frustrated. "This isn't what the show is supposed to be about," Whoopi told the crew, shaking her head. "We can't ask tough questions without ambushing our guests." Sunny Hostin agreed. Joy went too far. Meghan deserved better. But Joy remained unapologetic. "I asked what people wanted to know," she snapped. "If she can't answer, that's on her." The tension among the hosts was now as thick as the one that had driven Meghan off stage. Meghan's statement. Later that evening, Meghan's spokesperson released an official statement. Greater than, the Duchess of Sussex appeared on The View to discuss her charitable initiatives. Unfortunately, the conversation was derailed by hostility and disrespect. The Duchess will not participate in platforms that seek to sensationalize rather than uplift. Her focus remains on empowering women, supporting children, and building a future of compassion. The statement went viral within minutes, amplifying the controversy. Supporters praised Meghan's dignity, while critics accused her of playing the victim card again. Joy Behar's defense. The next morning, Joy addressed the drama on air. "Look, I didn't mean for Meghan to walk out," she said. "But I'm not going to apologize for doing my job. The View isn't a PR platform, it's a place for tough conversations. If Meghan can't handle that, then maybe this isn't the place for her." Her words sparked fresh outrage online. Many accused Joy of lacking empathy. Others applauded her for being bold enough to say what others were thinking. The royal family's silence. Meanwhile, across the Atlantic, the British press had a field day. Headlines blared. Markle meltdown. Duchess storms out of American talk show, The Daily Mail. Meghan vs. Joy, a royal clash in New York, The Times. Duchess defeated again, The Sun. Buckingham Palace declined to comment, as expected. But royal experts speculated endlessly about what Prince Harry thought of the incident. "Harry will no doubt feel protective of Meghan," one royal watcher said on a morning program. But this kind of public drama is exactly what he wanted to avoid when leaving royal life. The bigger conversation. Beyond the tabloid frenzy, the incident ignited a wider debate. Talk shows, podcasts, and news outlets dissected the clash from every angle. Was Joy justified in pressing Meghan so hard? Or was Meghan right to walk out when she felt disrespected? On CNN, a panel of commentators debated. One host said, "This isn't just about Meghan and Joy. It's about how women in the public eye are treated, whether their experiences are minimized, exaggerated, or weaponized." On Fox News, the tone was different. A pundit scoffed, "This proves Meghan just wants attention. She left the royals for freedom, but all she does is complain." Meghan's next move. 2 weeks later, Meghan gave a carefully arranged interview with Oprah Winfrey, not live, not on a panel, but in a controlled, one-on-one setting. "I walked out because I refused to let anyone dictate my story," Meghan told Oprah. "I've dealt with enough criticism, racism, and character assassination to last a lifetime. What happened on The View was just another attempt to discredit me. And I wasn't going to sit there and smile through it." The special drew millions of viewers, cementing Meghan's decision as an act of strength in the eyes of her supporters. Joy's reflection. Months later, Joy admitted in a magazine interview that she may have pushed too hard. "I don't regret asking tough questions," she said. "But maybe I could have framed them differently. I never set out to drive someone off stage. I guess Meghan and I just didn't see eye to eye. It was the closest thing to an apology she would ever give." The lasting impact. The clash between Meghan Markle and Joy Behar became one of the most talked about moments in daytime television history. It wasn't just another celebrity walkout, it symbolized deeper divides in culture, politics, and gender dynamics. To Meghan's supporters, she was a woman who refused to be silenced. To her critics, she was a symbol of fragility and privilege. Either way, the walkout ensured one thing: people were still talking about Meghan Markle. And for better or worse, her voice remained impossible to ignore.